Okay, so good afternoon. We are going to learn about main ideas today. So, what is main ideas? So, main ideas means what is the point of you saying something? Okay, usually people will ask such question when they want to know the speaker or the writer's main idea. So if you know the main idea, you will understand the entire conversation. So not only when it comes to talking, when you are writing, you also need to let the teacher know what your main idea is. If they know your main idea, it means your essay is clear, and then that's good for you. Okay, so today we are going to learn about main idea. So let's look at this um, comic. Okay, once our marriage has problems, he likes to spend money. I like to save it. He's a night person. I'm a day person. He likes sports. I hate them. What is the author's point in this cartoon? Okay, okay. So Ivy, what do you think the author's point is here in this cartoon? What is he talking about?
uh, to, to find out what the couple want, what the couple said.
Mm,
Teacher, you.
yes,
Yes,
Shanika, I can hear
Yeah.
you. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yeah.
Ah, very good. Okay.
Okay.
Now, so let's look at the answer. What your Ivy, your answer is very near. So what is the author point? Is the author's point is that the marriage has problems. Okay, let's look at the question again. So the author is saying that both of their marriage has problems. Okay, what are the problems? The husband likes to spend money, but the wife likes to save it. The husband is a night person, while the wife is a day person. The husband likes sports, and the wife hates them. So, what is the point here? The author is making a point that the marriage has problems. So, this is the main idea. Okay, so what does the wife supports her stand with? Okay, her wife supports her point with some good examples. Her husband likes to spend money while she likes to save it. He's a night person while she's a day person. And he likes sports and she hates them. So the main idea is what I write in blue. The marriage has problems. And those examples are what we call as examples. Now, what does it have to do with your writing? It's just like when you're writing an essay, every every paragraph you will have a main idea, okay, which is your content point. Let's say you are writing about how to lose weight, and for that paragraph you're talking about how exercising. Okay, so what are your example? Okay, maybe you will say about okay, exercising helps you to lose weight because it burns your calories, and when you exercise, you sweat. Other than that, after you act, or if you exercise, your body is healthier, and thus you won't have a lot of cravings for junk food and whatsoever. The so this is what we are learning today. Main ideas and those in black are what we call as supporting details. Okay, let's proceed. Now, so to find the main idea of reading selection, you must ask yourself this question. What is the point the author is trying to make? Usually, the main idea is very clear in the passage. For example, Now, let's look at this example. What is the author's point in the following paragraph? We shall have a look. School bullies have been around as long as there have been schools. Studies reveal several reasons why some children become bullies. Research shows that a certain combination of size and personality may be one factor. Bigger, more aggressive children are more likely to try to dominate their smaller, quieter peers. Peers are your friends that are of the same age. Another factor linked to bullying is overexposure to violent TV programs. By the time the average American child is 10 years old, he or she has watched thousands of acts of violence, including assault and murder. Such exposure can lead to aggression and violence. Finally, exposure to real violence is a factor in bullying. Studies indicate that victims of bullies often turn into bullies themselves, whether abused by family members or tormented by other kids. Bullies typically learn their behavior from others. Look closely into the eyes of the bully, and you may be looking into the eyes of a former victim. Now, Ivy and Shanika, what do you think the author's point is in this paragraph? I'll give you a hint. The main idea of this paragraph lies in one of the sentences. What do you think the main idea?
School bullies.
School bullies?
Bullies.
Yeah, so school bullies what? It must be a sentence.
It's okay.
Look, there are so many sentences here. They are talking about one. Okay, we know that they are talking about school bullies, right? That's correct. So what is the main idea of this paragraph? What aspect of school bully are they talking about? Is Ivy, do you have any idea? Ivy? Okay, look carefully. They are talking about the main idea is studies reveal several reasons why some children become bullies. Okay, why do I say that this is the main idea of this paragraph? Because the writer or the author is giving a few examples of reasons why children become bullies. Okay, I'll show you and I think I will use another slide. Okay, the studies reveal several reasons why some children become bullies. Okay, now, so look carefully. This is the paragraph that we are discussing. Now, the main idea, like I say, is studies reveal several reasons why some children become bullies, right? Okay, what are the reasons? First reason, okay, the one in green is the main idea of the paragraph. So this paragraph, we are talking about the reasons why children become bullies. Next, what are the reasons? The first reason is in yellow. Research shows that a certain combination of size and personality may be one factor. Okay, the first reason is the size and the personality of the children. That explains why some children become bullies. Okay, so far, do both of you understand what I am saying? Ivy, Shanika?
Yes.
Okay, so the one in green is the main idea. And what are So this yellow color sentences, these are the elaboration. Okay, so the first elaboration or the first example is the size and the personality. What is the second as reason? Another factor linked to bullying is overexposure to violent TV program. Okay, so firstly, the size and the personality of the children explains why certain children they become bullies. The second reason is because the children are overexposed to violent TV programs. And thirdly, what is the last reason is because they are exposed to real violence. It means the bullies themselves were victims of bullying when they were young. Thus, they become bullies after they grow up. So, the one in green is the main idea. Okay? And then the one in yellow is the supporting, is what we call as the supporting detail. Okay, now the one in green that I say is the main idea. After that, you have supporting details, right, in your essay. And sometimes your supporting detail might not be in one sentence only. Sometimes you will give extra examples. Like for example, now the first supporting detail is the first sentence in yellow. Research shows that a certain combination of size and personality may be one factor. So this is your first supporting detail or your first elaboration. But maybe the teacher does not understand what you mean by this sentence. Thus, you need to give examples. Thus, what is your example? Bigger, more aggressive children are more likely to try to dominate their smaller, quieter peers. Okay? This is your example. So, a good essay must have these three components. Firstly, for every paragraph, you must have your main idea. After that, after your main idea, you must have some elaboration or supporting detail. And to make your supporting detail being able to understood by the teacher, you will use examples. Next, supporting detail. Another factor linked to bullying is overexposure to violent TV programs. So what do you mean by that? You must give example. By the time the average American child is 10 years old, he or she has watched thousands of acts of violence, including assault and murder. And you can also further elaborate. Such exposure can lead to aggression and violence. Lastly, the last elaboration or supporting detail. Finally, exposure to real violence is a factor in bullying. Studies indicate that victims of bullies and the rest of it, these are your examples. Okay, so far so good? And both of you understand the lesson?
Yes.
Okay, I will give you some. So, always remember, you must have a good essay must have these three components. Firstly, you must have your main idea, followed by your supporting detail, and followed by your examples or further elaboration. Usually, students will write your essay in the first form. You will write your main idea and then you will follow your sentence with supporting detail. If you are a better student, if you go to Form 4 or Form 5, maybe your teacher will teach you to write your main idea in the middle of the paragraph. It's also understood, but it shows that you are a better student because you can write something that is not very explicit or clear for the teacher to understand. But still, the teacher will know what your main idea is. But usually students will use the first approach. They will write the main idea followed by the supporting details. Now let's look at another example. Now, like I say, you must have your main idea followed by the supporting detail followed by the example. Okay, now this is another short paragraph. Spanking is a poor way to shape a child's behavior. For one thing, spanking will result in feelings of anger and frustration. The child then will not learn anything positive from the punishment. In addition, spanking may actually lead to more bad behavior. Having learned that hitting is okay, the child may attack smaller children. Finally, spanking teaches children to hide certain actions from their parents. Once out of their parents' sight, however, children may feel they can get away with the bad behavior. So this is a norm. This is and as this is a sample of a paragraph that's in your writing. So usually we'll start with the main idea. So what is this paragraph talking about? It's talking about how spanking can be a poor way to shape a child's behavior. What is the author's elaboration? Firstly, it may result in anger and frustration. After that, how do you further elaborate? Then you cannot learn anything positive from the punishment. What is the second point that he's talking about? Okay, it can also lead to more bad behavior. Why? If the child is being spanked frequently, maybe the child can or may attack smaller children using the same way. Thirdly, how can spanking be a poor way to shape a child's behavior? It teaches children to hide certain actions from their parents. Okay, because why are children being spanked? It's because they did something wrong and the parents know about it. Thus, for the children to avoid being spanked, they would like to hide certain actions or certain bad, which are usually bad, from the parents. Okay, so a good essay must have these components. Firstly, it's very usual. You must have an introduction, and for your content, you must have your main idea, you must have your supporting details, followed by some examples. And lastly, you must have your conclusion. So this is the layout of a good essay. So far, do both of you have any problems with the lesson so far? So both of you, can you understand my lesson?
Yes.
Yes, Ivy can? Okay, so now I'm going to give you some exercises. So firstly, we will learn how to identify supporting details. Okay, now, so this is a sample question. Write a summary. Okay, a summary is what you learn. You have already learned it in the Malay language. Your ringkasan or rumusan. I'm sure you have learned about that. Have you? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Now, for now, I will give you the main idea first. So the main idea is how the newspaper can be a useful tool to students. Now, I'll give you some time to read through this few paragraphs, and I want you to tell me what are the supporting details for the main idea. In this way, okay, in this passage, which means I want you to tell me or search for points saying that how the newspaper can be a useful tool to students. Okay, let us read the passage. Okay, while I'm reading it, you can try to search for ideas. Okay, so if you want to, you can also write on my slides. On your top right corner of your phone, you can annotate. You can annotate, which means you can search for ideas. Okay, you can draw anything, but please don't color my slides. Okay, so Ivy, you can also do the same thing. You can annotate. Now, let's look at the passage. The newspaper is an extremely useful learning tool to students today. Besides being easily available and affordable, it offers them numerous benefits. A survey carried out on the benefits of the newspaper clearly shows that students who read the newspapers have better awareness of the world around them. This is because they are better informed of the current issues happening around the world. Hence, they become more knowledgeable. As language proficiency seems to be a problem amongst students these days, reading the newspapers also helps them improve their language skills. As such, they are able to put into practice what they have learned. Meanwhile, once outside the classroom, students can use a newspaper to be a continuous source of education and information. For example, it can be used to obtain reference materials or ideas for their school assignments. The newspaper today also motivates students to learn because it contains educational supplements that help them with their lessons. Besides, they also encourage students to develop their thinking skills through extensive reading. It is without doubt that the newspaper is beneficial to students. As such, we should encourage them to read newspaper every day. Now, so in this passage, there are a few supporting details to the main idea on how the newspaper can be a useful tool to students. Now, Ivy and Shanika, can you bracket the supporting details on the slide on the screen? Okay, so both of you can bracket what are the ideas. Okay, don't worry, you can bracket. So what are they? Usually, okay, I'll give you a hint. It will be in a sentence. So better awareness, what does it mean by better awareness, Shanika? So it must be you must bracket or underline the entire sentence. Yeah, I'll give you some time.
Improve their language skills.
Don't worry, just bracket it, we'll discuss later.
What in detail is like
What do you mean?
wait first.
Look, your idea was correct, helping them to improve their language skill. Yeah, that is a supporting detail. You can bracket that. Okay.
Teacher, this painting so weird.
Hmm?
Cannot write properly.
You can. Do you see on your left there is TT?
Yeah.
You can type.
Oh.
TT is for you to type. You can type something. That's why I use this application because you can type. Okay. Correct. 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 Any more?
Uh, encourage students to develop their thinking skills through intensive reading.
Yes, there is also. So these are the supporting details. Okay, you can still have a few more. Now, look at the second paragraph. Students who read the newspapers have better awareness of the world around them, right? This is because they are better informed of the current issues happening around the world. Let me ask you, if they are better informed of the current issues happening around the world, is that a way how newspaper can be a useful tool to students? When you are
Not only not only about issues, but
this I'm talking not only about issues, but we limit ourselves to this uh, passage first, which means when you're writing, firstly, you know that you can have better awareness about the world around you. How can also newspaper help you? You are better informed of the current issues happening around you. Okay?
okay.
Reading a newspaper also help them to improve their language skills, correct? Why? Because they are able to practice what they have learned. So this is a small support, a very not so important supporting detail, but I'm just listing out. Next, okay, students can use the newspaper to be a continuous source of education information. Correct. Okay, let's look at this sentence. For example, it can be used to obtain reference material. Why is this not a supporting detail? Because this is an example, okay? It's not a supporting detail. The newspaper today also motivates students to learn because it contains educational supplements, correct? Besides, they also encourage students to develop their thinking skills through extensive reading. Okay, not bad. Both of you have identified all the supporting details. Okay, so so how the newspaper can be useful to supporting can be useful to students. So that thing is the main idea, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 supporting details. So these are, I think these are the ones that you record just now. Maybe some of them in one sentence, but I have separated it into two. Okay. Now, as you go to higher levels in learning, you don't. Next time when you are doing assignments, the teacher will ask. You will use references. Okay, but you cannot just copy everything from the reference materials and you say that you claim that is your report. You cannot do that. That's why, and firstly, what must you do? You must read the passages, and you must understand them. So when you understand them, what do you mean? You're actually understanding the main idea of the passage. And after that, you have some points and that supports the main idea. Those are your supporting details. After you identify the main idea and the supporting details, you must learn to paraphrase. Okay, what is the meaning of paraphrase? Do both of you have any idea what is the meaning of paraphrase?
No, wait. Phrasing it again, but in your own words.
Yes, of course, because we are not robots. We don't just copy, but it's better we identify the points, but we write them in our own words. Okay, now this is an example. So T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot is a very famous poet. According to him, he says that immature poets imitate, means you follow the style. But mature poets steal. What do you mean by steal? Means you take somebody's ideas and you write it in your own way. So when you are writing, we usually encourage our students to paraphrase, which means we express the same message in different words. Why do we do that? Because this is very important. Although it might not be important in, I'm not sure, maybe in Form 3 when you want to do your folios or what, or maybe in Form 5. But when you go to college or university, the lecturers won't allow you to copy, but you need to know how to paraphrase. So now we are going. So today, I don't think we have time. I think the class is ending in 1 minute. Don't worry, I will teach you how to paraphrase in the next lesson. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so do both of you have any problem with today's lesson?
Nope.
Do you understand the lesson clearly?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so can I still use VBAX to teach you?
Sorry?
Sure.
Can I still use VBAX, this application,
Oh,
to
yeah.
teach you?
Sure, sure.
Sure? Are we okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you can leave the meeting now. Don't worry, I recorded the lesson, so you can look at it afterwards when you are free. If you have problems or questions regarding today's lesson, okay? If
Okay,
there's no
okay.
problem, thank you. You may leave the meeting now.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay.